Let's begin with a quick review of what submetering is and the various applications it is used in. What is submetering? Submetering at its core is the measurement of consumption of electricity, water, and gas downstream of a utility meter. How much submetering is needed? That depends on the underlying need for submetering. For tenant billing, this is typically defined by the number of distinct tenant spaces that need to be metered. For energy monitoring and cost savings, what sorts of loads need to be metered? How detailed does the information need to be? What kinds of information are required? For energy code compliance, how does the code require consumption to be reported? How many types of circuits must be disaggregated, and how are they spread out throughout the facility or campus? Why use submetering? Tenant billing. The tenant pays for the energy they use, allowing the building owner to allocate costs and lower overall operating expenses. This can create an incentive for tenants to modify their energy consumption. Energy monitoring. This identifies where, when, and how energy is being used within a facility with the ability to measure energy usage for individual circuits as well as whole buildings. This data serves to identify energy-saving opportunities, eliminate wasteful energy consumption, and improve system and equipment performance. It also streamlines demand analysis. Energy code compliance is requiring submetering in most commercial spaces to capture, store, and report energy usage by load types. IECC and ASHRAE 90.1 are the most commonly adopted energy codes, which are being updated regularly with new and typical more stringent requirements. California, New York, Seattle, and a number of other major metropolitan areas have their own specific code requirements for submetering. It is important to know the code requirements for your local markets because it varies and the requirements are being updated. Goals for submetering: allocate energy costs and accurately bill tenants, measure, monitor, and manage energy usage, energy code compliance, cost savings through energy efficiency. Tenant billing continues to be a major market for submetering, even though not all areas allow submetering for tenant billing. While the majority of opportunities are for residential properties, the same billing requirements exist in commercial applications like office buildings, strip malls, and mixed-use properties. Opportunities exist for both new construction and retrofit applications. Organizations with large campuses or heavy process loads may benefit from submetering for energy management. These organizations will typically have an energy manager who's responsible for monitoring and managing the consumption of the entire facility. To be successful at identifying problem areas and opportunities for improvement requires submetering more than just whole buildings. A good energy manager will understand the need for submetering and the value proposition it offers. Energy code compliance is quickly becoming a driving force for submetering. As updated energy codes are being adopted across the country, they are requiring submetering in most commercial applications. It is important to know what code is applicable in your markets and how to apply them to submetering system design. Most states and many large metropolitan areas have implemented some version of the code, making submetering mandatory. Most of the energy codes follow a common requirement that the various load types like indoor lighting, outdoor lighting, plug load, and HVAC loads be disaggregated and monitored. Being able to separate these load types across a facility or group of buildings requires submetering at a circuit level. This data is then stored and used for code-compliant reporting to show total consumption and how it is spread across each of the identified load types. This map illustrates some of the variation of the codes adopted from state to state and why it's important to keep up with the changes in codes adopted in the markets you serve. In particular, places like New York City have adopted their own local code language with some specific requirements. The New York local law will require submetering in commercial spaces with more than 10,000 square feet. Seattle's energy code is similar in requiring buildings larger than 20,000 square feet or any additions larger than 10,000 square feet to be submetered. Thank you for listening to this overview of Verify submetering solutions. To learn more, visit leviton.com/verify.